Good morning, everybody. We are going to start our shape project. You're going to need a compass, a ruler, you're going to need a pencil, and a few sheets of paper, maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 sheets of paper, preferably unlined, and your colored pencils. Okay, so first thing you're going to do, you want to have a piece of paper to write some things down. So if you like to take notes on lined paper, that's totally fine. You can do that. But have something to write down. So there is a definition of shape, okay? So a shape is basically a line that crosses itself. Okay? You could also say it's an area. You'll see a few different definitions, but whichever one floats your boat. An area enclosed by a line, okay? So we've been working on lines, right? So now you're starting to see that how a line creates a shape. So your line could have a starting point and then it come around and meets itself. That's a shape. It could also create a shape because it crosses over itself. So now you've got 3 shapes here that you can color in. Okay, so that's the definition of a line. There's also 2 types of lines. There's organic, and organic, this is how I remember it, when you go to the grocery store, right, there's some stuff that's, the fruit and vegetables are organic. So think of organic, they're natural shapes, right? So shapes found in nature. So it could be you actually go outside and get a leaf and trace it. You know, you could trace a leaf. I didn't think to grab a leaf, but there you go, there's a leaf. It's also things what we call free form. So it could just be kind of like, you know, think of a blob or an amoeba or something like that. Those are organic shapes, right? There's typically no straight lines in organic shapes. Perfectly straight lines really don't exist in nature. That is something that comes along with man-made, which is our other type of shape, geometric. All right, so you think of geometric like the class that you take that's called geometry, right? What do you study in that class? You study triangles and circles and squares and rectangles and the stop sign shape, I forget what it's called, octagon or something, all of those. Or geometric shapes are typically man-made. They have straight lines, except for the circle, of course, but the circle, though a circle is found in nature, it's not perfect. So a geometric circle would be absolutely perfect. It's like you used a compass to draw it. Straight lines, man-made, and they're, you know, a little bit more on the perfect side. No flaws, okay? So shape, a line that crosses itself, an area enclosed by a line, right? We created 2 shapes here. And then there's 2 different types of shapes. There's organic, which are natural shapes. So you can get them one of 2 ways. You can trace something that's organic, or you can kind of draw your own little blobby amoeba type things, free forms. There's also geometric, more man-made. Think of architecture and, you know, things like that, things that you're going to learn in geometry class and math class, okay? So now that you've got that, let's do a little activity here. So you need a piece of paper, and I'm going to give you guys instructions on what to do, okay? So the first step is you're going to take a ruler, and your paper, it has a short side and a long side, right? So depending on where you know, if you have your paper this way or this way, it doesn't matter. But just know that there's a short side and a long side, okay? So the first thing, and I'm going to do mine with a marker just because it shows up on camera better, but you guys can do it with a pencil, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is going to take your ruler, and let me talk to you about if you don't have a ruler, okay? If you happen to not have a ruler, you can use any sort of straight edge. So I happen to have a pad of notebook paper here. This cardboard in the back of notebooks and stuff, that makes a great straight edge. You can use that. You can also take a piece of paper and fold and make your own ruler. So take a piece of paper and fold it in half. Fold it in half again. Oops. And then fold it in half one more time. So now you've got this end that's open, but you also have this nice crisp fold right here. So if you don't have a ruler around, you can use that instead, okay? All right. I am going to use my ruler. Okay, so step one, you are going to take your ruler and you're gonna draw a line from the short side to the other short side. And I feel like I need like a different background here so you guys can see my paper. Let me lay this down. Lay this down so you guys can see it better. Okay. So from the short side to the short side. And again, I'm only using this because it shows up better on the camera. If you want to use a pencil, that's totally fine. So from the short side to the short side, you're going to draw a line. And I don't care where you put your ruler. You can put it down here, you could tilt it this way, you could tilt it that way. It doesn't matter. As long as the line's starting on the short side and ending on the short side, you can put it wherever you want. So I'm going to draw that one first. Okay. Now, step number two, you've got the long side and the long side. You're going to draw a line from one long side to the other long side. And again, you can put your ruler wherever you want. I think I might go like right there. Your choice. Okay. Now, you're going to draw a line from the short side to one of the long sides. And again, like I said, line up your ruler however you want. Oops. Got like caught on my ruler there. And now you're going to do one more from the other short side to the other long side. So I think I'm going to go this way. Put the ruler wherever you want. It doesn't have to be anywhere. You could do it, you know, tilt it however you want. It's up to you. Okay. So now you should have 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You've got 4 lines. Now let's go to the circles. So I have my safety compass. If you guys that have been in class, you've used these. If you don't have a compass, and I don't have one of those old school ones where it's, you know, like a pointy thing with a thing and you do a compass, you know, with that pointy thing. I don't have any of those. So if you have one of those, that's great. You just need something to draw a circle. If you don't have a compass, you can make your own. So we're going to do 4 different circles, okay? And you want them to be, sorry, not 4, 5. 5 different circles. And you want them to be of various sizes, all right? So I kind of went around my house and found some stuff that you can use. So I got a paint can, a cup, okay? And the cup actually, the bottom and the top are different sizes, so that gives you a couple. A can of beans. I even grabbed a pot lid to trace too. So anything, oh, I had that lotion bottle. That's all I grabbed. So any of that you can use to trace your circles. If you have a compass, great. If not, then, and I'm gonna have to do this with a pencil because I can't use a Sharpie with my compass. So 5 circles of various sizes. That's what you wanna do. And if you want a good composition, and we're gonna talk about composition rules later, you want to have at least one of your circles kind of go off the page. Ooh, I'm just at the edge. I meant that to go off. Maybe I'll do one right here. Have one of your circles go off the page. Okay? Just like we talked about, you know, when we did 3 hands, you want to have an odd number of things. So that's why I'm saying 5 circles. And another rule is to have things go off the page. So I might do another one going off the page over here. And it's even going to overlap with my other circle, which is totally fine. And I need one more. I might put one like right here. So I've got 5 circles. A couple of them are going off the page. A couple of them are overlapping, which is totally cool. That's totally fine. Okay. Now, so you've got 4 lines and 5 circles. Now you are going to draw what we call the free-form shapes. Okay, so that is back to our organic shapes, right? So all of this is geometric. Everything is very straight, right? Perfect circles. I used a compass. Everything's very geometric. Now we're going to add in our free-form shapes. If you want to go outside and get yourself a leaf and trace that, you are more than welcome. So anything that's organic will work. You can trace something that's natural, or you can do a free form. It's a little chilly outside right now, so I am not going to go outside and get a leaf. I'm going to do a couple of free form shapes. And now I can use my Sharpie again. Actually, that pencil shows up pretty good. And again, anywhere you want, things can overlap. Just kind of put that guy there, and maybe I'll do a small one here. And kind of like a guy there. Okay, so you're going to do three organic shapes. Notice I'm using my whole paper, right? I'm not drawing everything in the center really tiny. Like, use up your space. Okay, that's another rule of composition that we're going to learn. Fill the space. Okay, fill it up. Now, the last thing we're going to do, and I'm going to kind of just turn this around so I get a fresh perspective. Like that. Okay, now we're going to do one continuous line. And we did this on the very first day of school for you guys that were there. One line that starts somewhere, goes through the whole paper, and ends up back on itself. Now, one thing before you draw this line, this is the last thing you're going to do. Like I said, I've got kind of some empty space up here, and I have some empty space here, right? Where I didn't really get a lot of stuff. I'm going to try and get my line up into that area so I can break that up a little bit, all right? So you want to have a lot of stuff going on. So I'm just going to start. Like I said, one continuous line, all right? So when you're finished, you should have plenty of shapes and stuff on your paper. All right, so you've got your whole space broken up. You've got things going off the edge. You can even draw some of your organic shapes going off the edge if you want, but you want to do all of that, okay? I'm going to make another video on what to do with this next.